Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Valheim, shall we? Continuing our complete beginner's guide, and I'm just going to cook a bunch of meat to get started, and take a look at our cook chest. We probably want some deer meat, so let's cook that as well. And I'll put everything else. I don't really want any necktails right now, but I'll put kind of my food over here. I'll put the berries away. Dandelions can go in here. That's actually, no, I think I have dandelions in my other chest. So I'll just wait for that meat to start sizzling up and pick this off, and then we're cooking the deer meat. Now while that happens, I'm going to go over here, put these away, put these away, put some of these other items away, and okay. Oh, it's time. There we go. Great. Alright, let me throw this trophy away. Okay, so I've got some good food selections here, and if I want more health, I can definitely go with this deer meat instead of the mushroom. So what we'll do is eat it. We were missing a food buff anyway, and when the mushroom wears off, I'll eat the honey. But I'm not going to waste any buffs at the moment. Alright, so now it's a rainy day, but what I'd like to do is just continue our exploration and our hunting. So first of all, come over and check on your bees, and look, they gave us some honey. So that's tremendous. We'd like to get more bees going because honey is so fantastic for good stamina early. Okay, and we're going to get this wet debuff, and remember you can always check your debuffs by pushing the crow, and wet gives us health, stamina, and E tier, or our god power, boss power, regeneration, all less right there. So that's kind of a bummer, but that's just what happens when it rains. Now, we're going to look at the map and just kind of see where do we want to go, right? And let's go over here. Now, I've got my bow out. Let me put that away. At this point, I'm not going to be sneaking around. I'm just going to be looking. And there's a bad guy right there, unfortunately, who wants to come get saucy. I'm going to use my club on this guy. Just raise up our club skill. It's always a good idea in this game to use different weapons to raise your skills and just kind of distribute them around so that you're good with different weapon types. There's some boars, and that's fantastic. Now, remember, the boar, you know, being sneaky against a boar is good, but you don't need to worry about it because they won't run away. But we do need leather, so that's fantastic. And let's see, what's that? That's another boar over there. And let's read this stone and see what the message is. And this message is telling us to gather everything that you want. And also about boar. And usually when you find something like this, again, it's like an indication that maybe boar will spawn here. So this is a good place to come if you are looking to hunt, get some leather and some meat and stuff like that. Now, of course, I'm not fighting like ultra intelligently right there. I'm just swinging, letting them hit me because they don't do a tremendous amount of damage to us. But it is a good idea. This is a 1-star. And remember, the 1-star critters will be more difficult and will drop double the loot. So, you know, the more stars, the more difficult, and the more loot you'll get from them. So that's great. So you can see we already got 5 leather scraps right there. It is a good idea, best practice, though, to, you know, work on your combat skills, and you can work on, you know, doing your combat rolling or timing your blocks and your parries and stuff like that. Now, you see how we just got the cold debuff? Whenever you get the cold debuff, okay, that means that it's nighttime, and it's definitely time to go back home. In general, exploring at night is a bad idea. There's just way more enemies, and as you increase in difficulty of biome, so does the danger of exploring at night. I can't tell you how many times I've been killed because I just get impatient and want to keep doing what I'm doing and ignore the fact that it's become night, okay? So, not only... oh, that's right, it's raining. Is night difficult because more enemies, but you also get that cold debuff. Now, we can't rest until we get rid of... our wetness, which the fire will do, and let's just rest here. Okay. So now we will wake up and we're ready for a new day. We've got our rested buff going. Our food situation is just fine. And, oh, I see a deer right there through the trees. Sometimes you have to look really far. Now, I don't need to be stealthy just yet, but there's a deer over here, which we definitely want. And we're going to try to just kind of now start sneaking up. Now, when you fire your bow, you have to stand up and you'll come out of stealth. But if you get into a good position, okay, and you aim your bow correctly, remember that the arrow falls off, and it's just something that you have to practice. But you see we hit the bow right there, or the deer in one shot right there, and we got ourselves some deer hide and some deer meat, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm just going to kind of look around. Sometimes, you know, deer are in a little group. There's a boar, and it hears us, so we'll just kind of switch over to our club, and it didn't know where we were. It just heard us, and we could have maybe snuck up on it, but I didn't do that. I just went in and fought it. Now, I'm continuing to explore, just walking around, looking for anything of interest. Like, for example, right here, we find a little spot of mushrooms. Okay? And I'm going to start pressing back the fog of war. Here's some dandelions. Alright, birch trees, beech trees, bushes. This is all meadows. Looking for deer, looking for interesting things, and right down there, we can see there's a fenced-in area and what appears to be a little house of some kind. And I'm just going to scan. Oh, there's houses over there to look at. There's this settlement. Looks like you could see the sun back there. There's a clearing. So we definitely want to check all of this out. There's a bad guy up there. He doesn't see us at the moment. He might eventually come looking for trouble, but this is a very small, what appears to be like a chicken coop or something like that, you know. Oh, yeah, this guy's definitely coming. Okay. So once the enemy detects you, you really just need to take care of it, because it will just hunt you forever. Okay. And how much wood do I have on me? None. So I'm going to chop down this log that's already fallen using my axe special ability, just holding down the middle mouse button. Remember, whenever you make noise, the enemies will start coming if they're able to hear the noise. Oh, there's also a little stone kind of grave site. And we're just looking to get 10 pieces of wood at the moment. So let's go get this over here. Early game, these structures are fantastic because they have skeletal remains inside. And it's one of the best places to get bone fragments. Now, bone fragments will be easier to get later on. But, okay, so we had a bunch of berries. Raspberries right here. Right now they're scarce, and you need them for a lot of your crafting, so it's good to pick them up. And yep, you can see the beautiful sunlight streaming through, and really take a look at this. This is such a an amazingly beautiful game, even though the textures are not phenomenal in the sense that they're PlayStation 1 appearance intentionally. The lighting and the music and the atmosphere just really create some stunning moments of beauty that I feel set this game apart. Now, I'm going to fight this guy because, of course, he wants to fight. Now, in clearings such as this, ooh, look at all these berries, you'll find much less of the greylings and stuff like that, and it's a great opportunity to find, perhaps, my food has gone off. I'm going to eat some boar meat. Animals just grazing, and yep, we found a beehive and a chest. So we're going to get out our bow, and now that we have a bow, we can just shoot this beehive from afar. Okay. And knock it down. There we go. Break it up. Now, pay attention, the queen bee is up here on the roof, so we have to go up there to get her, but we got it. And so now we can make another beehive, which is great. The door is blocked by this bush, so we're just going to get rid of that. And let's go and get this chest, and there's some nice arrows in here and some money, so we'll take everything. And I'm going to go ahead and get some lumber. So let's just take an inventory here. I right now have 10 pieces of wood. Okay, so I'm going to use my hammer, and I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to make a workbench right there. And I'm going to push R. Well, no, actually, I want to get my hammer back out. I'm just going to get that icon going, and I'm just going to start right-clicking everything. I'm sorry, middle-clicking everything to break it. Even the chest. We're just going to break all of this stuff from this house. We don't need a shelter right here, and I would like some extra wood. This is a fantastic way to get wood easily. Now, I will say, you can even break the floor, of course. Anything within the radius of your workbench. You aren't getting woodcutting skill when doing this, so there is that consequence that you're not really skilling up, but there's plenty of opportunities. I never really ran into a problem in my Let's Play, you know, where I was like, oh man, I wish I had my woodcutting higher. But you can see we just got 33 pieces of wood, and that doesn't include the wood that we get from dismantling this again. So just breaking that up, taking 2 seconds to do that, has got us a really nice stack of wood. All right. Now, I'm going to kind of look at the map, and you can see the clearing. And I'm going to just run over here. This is a great way to explore and see what's in the clearing itself. I'm going to, just be practicing my sprinting and look around. See if there's any deer. There's a stone over there we can read. Always read the stones. They give you great tips and information about the game, or they give you lore, so you can get some story, or both. All right, this clearing kind of doglegs around this way. And there's an interesting configuration of stone rocks over there. But I'm really not seeing too many boars or animals, unfortunately. This is all meadows, by the way. Always look in the upper right to see what biome you're in. Don't be leaving the meadows right now, but you could tell by the foliage and the grass and everything that you're in the meadows. As long as you're in these deciduous trees, you're pretty safe in assuming that it's the meadows, but just be sure. Okay, and... oh, is that an animal? No. Alright, I'm going to poke around here. Now, I don't like to run all the time because I want to make sure that my stamina remains high. Let's see. So if I do want to fight something, I'm ready to go. Okay. Let's just keep going through this Viking golf course. This is the 4-hole. It's got a nice long fairway. And there's a house up here we can see. Big house. All right. And we'll break this apart probably. All the trees I see around here look like beech, oak, birch, deciduous stuff, aka meadows, so that's good. Now I'm looking... Sometimes it's hard to tell if there's a hive. You don't want to get stung unnecessarily. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and get out my hammer. And you can see we have plenty of weight left to carry. So let's get a bunch of lumber while we're out here. And just kind of drop this down there. That looks great. And let's start breaking. Go here. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like there was a beehive. But I want to show you. Let's see if we can just break the whole house by destroying the supports. So you can see how these are all blue, right? And then as I move up, it's green. And it's still green. But if I start breaking the supports... Oh, okay. Hi. Oh, you didn't die. I'm sorry. I got confused. I thought you were dead. All right. And there we go. That guy was... He saved... He was on death's door. And then there we go. And now you'll start to see the entire house. You see how the durability is changing to red and yellow as all the supports are gone. Eventually, you can just wait for this to break. And it will fall down. And you don't even have to do anything. You can just collect all this wood. It doesn't hurt if it falls on you like that, by the way. Okay. And now, if I go into my inventory, you can see we're up to 208 pounds because we have a full stack of wood right here. You can really never have enough wood in this game. It's one of those resources that you're just going to find yourself going through all the time. Awesome. And we'll just break that up. So there we go. Put the hammer away. And this is our home, so I'm going to curl up and uncover this part of the map and kind of start heading home. And we'll look for any animals along the way, see if we can get some extra leather going. But this is, again, just the progress. Have fun. Do some exploration. Oh, look, there's a little house over here, too. You find cool stuff like this. Just little settlements to explore. Wonder what was going on. Wonder who lived here. Is there... Oh my gosh. Find a boar on the roof. You know, all kinds of cool stuff. That was the amazing Houdini boar. And I'm coming in here just to see if there's not a beehive, and there's also not, unfortunately, a chest. But we'll just double click and say, let's say ruined house. I sometimes like to leave these on the map just in case I'm out and I need a place, but we've lost our rested buff. So, well, right on cue, rested buff. All you have to do if you're out in the world and you lose your rested buff is make a fire. Now, at this point, we have to be sure we're carrying enough stones for something like that, and we're going to need to kind of go around and look for stones. I have 1, here we go, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's enough. And so you always want your rested buff on. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and make myself a fire. Now, you can make it outside, or what you can do is you see how there's a hole in the roof right here. If you want, you can put a fire right there. Now, it will require a little bit of extra work, okay? So you're going to have to build a workbench like that, and then that will let you come in here and basically remove this floor tile so that you can then build a campfire on that square. All right, and you can see we're getting our rested right away. And I'm just going to kind of chill out, sit down, get the rested buff back on before I move anywhere. Now, this doesn't work in the rain, but it works right now. If it did start to rain, you could just simply build a roof tile that... This should be enough ventilation, this opening right here for you, and there's no door. But if the smoke becomes a problem, you could just build a roof that was going in this orientation and just went higher up over to still allow the roof to be open enough to let the smoke ventilate. But I'm just going to break this up. keep my wood, and the fire will stay there. We've got our rested buff, and our food is still okay. Let's just run this way. And we're raising up some of our skills as we run, of course. Looking around, paying attention. There is a house over here, and there's a mushroom at my feet. Or a couple mushrooms. Alright, I'm going to kind of zoom in a bit. Unfortunately, I'm not finding a multitude of deer, but that's okay. Oh, I think I lied. I think I got confused. I did not see a house. It was just the sunlight, the trees, and the dirt on the hillside. It all, out of the corner of my eye, made me feel like it was some kind of house. Oh, there's a deer, though. All right, we're going to stealth. We're going to select our bow, and it's behind a tree. All right, so let's kind of just zoom in so we can get a nice look at this guy. And aim right above it. And knock it down. That was the deer sound right there, by the way. It's kind of like... Oh, we got a new recipe for the stag breaker. Oh, and there's a boar. It's kind of like a dog sound sometimes. And we've lost our food buff from the deer. So let's go ahead and eat that up so that we don't run out of food. And it's time to start heading home. It's going to be coming night soon. So remember, let's just look at the map, and we'll just push the middle mouse button to ping our house so we can see in our field of vision the way to go. And oh, there's a house right here too. Anything going on in this home? Well, there's a beehive. That's beautiful. So we're going to shoot this. And we got it in one shot. Just let the bees kind of go away. Don't charge in immediately. And then once they're gone, you can go in. We got a queen bee. Just make sure you get that queen bee. And we do indeed have 2 queen bees right now. So 2 queen bees will add up to give us 4 hives in total, which is a really, really good amount of hives to have right now so that we... Oh, there's a deer. We won't have an endless supply. I'm going to start sneaking up on this to make it an easier shot for myself. We won't have an endless supply of honey, but we'll have pretty close. And we're just going to kind of fire right there. And that's tremendous is what that is. So pick up all the hide and the meat. And there's another little house right here. Is there anything in this one? Well, it's hard to see. There's a chest. Where's the door to this house? Oh, it got blocked in by this boulder. Okay. And, well, we find some cool stuff. A torch, feathers, and 3 pieces of flint, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to put this on the map. Again, these are also just things you can come back to if you want to gather lumber. And here's our house over here. So we do have some time before it's night. So I'm going to run back. Oh, you hear that sound? That's a deer. So a deer saw us and ran away. So that means that there is a deer around this area. Now, the deer will always circle back to where they were as long as you're not still there and they can't see you. And you can use that to your advantage to basically just kind of play the waiting game and keep your eyes peeled for where that deer went. Now the sun is setting very rapidly. And where was that animal? I'm scanning that way, looking for a scampering deer. And we'll scan over this way. Don't see anything just yet. Don't see anything just yet. There it is. Alright, so we'll select our bow. And we'll just kind of creep over here. get a nice shot. Now we're uphill from it. So... Oh, it saw us. Darn. At the last moment. Okay, so we know a deer is there, though. We did lose our honey buff, so let's eat that. And I'm just going to crouch and try to hide from it. And because we know where it was, it should eventually return to that spot once it's done being terrified. You can see our sneak went up, so something is actually around us. And I'm just kind of moving this way and that, seeing if this deer will come back anytime soon. And just patiently waiting. Now, I fired at it, so it might be so afraid that it's not going to wander back anytime soon, or it might have gotten to some other encounter. Yeah, I don't see anything anymore. Okay. Remember, there is usually a deer over here by these stones, too. So you can always check out to see if that deer has come back. But in the meantime, let's go to our workbench. And first of all, just repair all of our stuff. Now, we have enough leather to make a helmet if we want. Okay? And you can see right now we're wearing rag pants and rag tunic. But we could also... The leather helmet will give us 2 armor. The leather tunic will give us 2 armor. So this is not a huge increase. I'm going to make a wooden shield, okay? And I'm going to make a leather helmet. And now we will go inside. And I'm going to start cooking some stuff. Let's get all that on the fire. We can open this up and throw in some meat while we're cooking. And let's talk about this. So you could see that my armor is 2, but if I right-click on the leather helmet, it goes up to 4. So we've just doubled our armor, and we have a cool hat on also. I mean, why not, right? And I'm going to... All this meat is done, so let me just kind of pick it off before it burns. There we go. And sometimes you really have to get into the fire itself, and we're good. All right. Now, I'm going to split the stack and just carry around only what I need. Oops, wrong way. Let's go 2 and put that there, and then throw these in here. And then let's go 2 and then put this here like this and throw that in there. Okay, fantastic. All right. And it is night, so... Let me go ahead and just put back some of the stuff that we don't need to be carrying at the moment. Feathers, dandelions, bones. Okay, very good. And we'll open this chest. And you can see we're going to need to build another chest. Because we're just kind of running out of space. But that's a good thing. It means that we're doing well. All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and rest for the night. Okay, and now that it's morning, I'm going to look at my chest situation. All of these leather scraps and this flint, I'm going to take out. I'm going to go in here, see if there's anything else that I want. Core wood is fine. We can fill up our stack of regular wood right there. I want to take these bone fragments, okay? And the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to go ahead and make myself a chest that is right by our workbench. And this chest that's going to go right here by the workbench is going to be for items that we use for crafting. So I'm going to put bone fragments, leather fragments, flint, core wood, things that I might need, resin, for crafting something down the road. I want to put it there just so I can have it right there if I need some more. Oh, and Hugin wants to talk to me. Where did you go, Hugin? I heard you, but... Did you fly away? Okay. There's some honey to extract, which is great. Oh, he's over here. He's behind my house. And what's up, dude? You crafted a shield. Ah, he wants to tell me about how you can block with the shield, and we will definitely talk about that in a moment. But right now, let's go ahead and eat. We need boar meat. And I'm going to go ahead and craft the rest of our beehives that we can make, and we'll just put them over here with our other beehives. Look at that. And close that up. Now I have a shield, and I'd like to put... I don't need this torch. I'm going to put my shield over here. Okay, these are our equipment, and I need to put away a bunch of items. I'm carrying just far too much stuff at the moment. So let's see. We can put away... I'm going to make another chest. And this is something you're going to be doing a ton of, which is just making chests. I'm going to make a chest just that is right over here. That's going to be just for gear and stuff. Okay, and so I'm going to put like this extra torch, these arrows, things like that in there. Anything else that's gear? Yep, this is good. Torches are good. You can come with me. This hammer, that's fine. And then I'm going to throw away these trophies like that. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to store these. Flint head arrows are tremendous. We're going to want to use these perhaps for the boss or some hard foe, but for right now we're just going to save them up. For regular hunting, we really don't need them. Torches, extra hammer, that goes in there. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to put away all this extra food that I don't need. I always want to carry around 10 wood so I can make a workbench. Okay. I am going to give myself one more piece of boar meat right there for traveling with, and that looks great. All right. So now we have our beehives built, and let's just take a look to see what else we want to build. We know, for example, that we want to build a tanning rack, right? That's just a must, but we need 5 deer hide and 20 leather scraps and 15 flint. So let's take a look at that. We have... pretty close. We just need a few more boar, a few more deer, and we have the flint. So we're getting very, very close to that. It's a new day, so I'm going to zoom all the way out. First of all, we know there was a deer over here. Let's just kind of check to see if that deer came back. I don't see anything right now. Oh, I heard it. It's right behind me. Okay. It actually went over this way. All right, great. So, remember, when you hear it like that, all you got to do is pull out your bow and hide. You don't even need to pull out your bow, really, just yet, but just hide somewhere in the bushes and wait, and eventually, this deer will come back. It'll circle back around over time and try to make its way back to where it was, as long as it doesn't see you in the process. So we're just going to kind of play the game, the waiting game, and there it goes, right there. You can see it's moving. It's still very, very skittish, but eventually it should just calm down once it gets back to its place, and you can see it. There it is. It's calm. Oh, okay. We want to sneak up on it. Get a good shot. Wait for it to kind of stop moving a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to just try to take a shot. This is a tough shot. But we got it. Okay. And it was mostly blocked there, but we ended up getting, 2 deer hides. So we just need one more, I think, and some boar. Now, boar, I'm going to put my bow away. I'm going to run over here and show you that we did see some boar over by this stone. And we marked it on the map, in fact, right over here. And yep, there is a boar. So I'm actually going to get out my club, and I'm going to get out my shield. So you just put your shield on your hotbar, and then you push the number corresponding to it, and you get it out, and you can use it with a one-handed weapon. You, of course, can't use it with your bow. But let's talk about the shield and how this works. So I'm going to attract this boar, right? And then I'm going to hold... If I just hold the right mouse button... Okay, the boar will eventually try to attack me, and you can see that we blocked it, right? And blocked it again and hit it. Now, you can also, if you push the right mouse button to pull up your block at the exact moment that it's going to attack, there's a little window there, and you can parry it. Parrying attacks is one of the best ways to defeat enemies, in my experience, because it staggers the enemy, and it just leaves them kind of standing there, and you can just wail on them while they're in that staggered state. And I actually find it hard to do against boars because it's more difficult for me to see their wind-up, but for enemies that have weapons, you can really... They telegraph their moves a lot, at least the earlier enemies, and you can stagger them with a good parry. So the shield is fantastic for situations like that, but it's something you just need to practice with. It's not necessary for hunting boar. I just wanted to show you, kind of like what it did. Now I'm going to go back to my bow, and I'm actually going to take it off because we need to just go back hunting regular style. And I'm going to run over here, and here's my home. And let's just kind of poke around. That's a deer. I need to sneak. Got it. And we can just walk over here. And now we have enough deer hide. Now it's up for just getting boar. Now, did I mark... Yep, I marked boar over here on the map as well. And this is why marking stuff on the map is so useful. Put away your bow, help with your stamina. And let's see, any boar over here? Well, no, but I do see a deer. So, again, we need deer all the time. I'm going to sneak up on this, and I'm going to try to take this shot. It is pretty far away, but we got it. Sometimes when you're really far away like that, you won't even see the damage numbers because it's too far away to even register it, really, but it hits him. You can still hit him. And by the way, don't be discouraged like, oh, darn, just a grayling. I don't really want to fight you, but I'm looking for boars, buddy. If you're not as good as I, have been getting some nice lucky shots in there with my bow, but it's just because I've practiced a lot and I have a good feel for the fall off on that crude bow, because it's one of the ways I prefer to play. But if it's just not your thing or you're having trouble with it, don't be afraid to just make a knife and stealth around and sneak up and kill things by sneaking. Also a great way to get what you need. So just do whatever is easiest for you. Alright, so we absolutely annihilated that guy. And let's see, that gave us some scraps. Fantastic. We just need some more leather from boar. Hi. How are you feeling? And sometimes, like, especially early, you don't even need to bother with blocking because on like a grayling or something like that, if you get to drop on them, because your regular weapon attack will stagger them, and that's all you need is just, 2 or 3 strikes. But it's never a bad idea to practice getting your timing down on easy enemies because they're low threat, and you can get things going. Oh, there's a deer. Well, that's funny. I was like having trouble finding deer before, and then not having trouble finding boar. And now we're just finding deer for days. But deer, as you can see, are incredibly important because you need deer for all of your better armor. Like, we just built the leather helmet, but if we want leather pants, if we want, leather shirt, leather cape, all of that stuff, it's going to require deer. So you're never going to be unhappy to kill deer. Plus, their meat is great for giving health. And you're going to want all red fork stuff. Well, mostly red fork stuff probably when you're fighting the boss. And our honey wore off. Let's just eat that back up. And I'm just going to kind of take a gander and look for boar. Going headlong down over here. Not too worried about it. And just exploring the map. Alright. There we go. Resin. Okay. Uncovering fog of war. Seeing what's over here. Okay, here's a stone. Oh. Give thanks to Frey for the rain and sun. Yep, it's a lore message. Okay, and you can see there's an ocean over here. So we have found the coast on this side. So this is also very helpful to map out because this is a great place to find, you know, for example, flint, stuff like this. And coast is also nice just because it's easy to see things. So if you're looking for example, boar, you might be able to see them. Alright, and where am I on the map now? Okay, so we've been here. So I'm going to head back to my house. In that direction anyway. Just looking for some boar. Looking for trouble. Boar trouble. Zoom out. Make it easier for us to find this. There's no boar basking in the sunlight here, which is too bad. And let's see. We're here. Let's turn back up. Our rested buff is kind of starting to deteriorate. There's a boar. Fantastic. And you could practice shooting it if you want. But it's a tough shot, and you don't even need to be graceful with boar because they oblige by fighting back. They are a proud race. There's a deer. So we're going to sneak. We're going to select our arrow. We're going to zoom in. It's a big deer. It's got horns and everything. We're going to just aim above it. We got it. Okay. And pick up all this stuff. And we're getting a great amount of, you know, leather. We just need one more boar, I think. Put my bow away. Take a gander around. Look for some more boar. I mean, we saw a boar over there. They usually like to travel together, so we can look for some more. And also, you can just kind of head back to the place where you saw them before. See if they've decided to come back to that hangout. Oh, and we found a skeleton. Okay, cool. So, get out your shield. Alright, now let's practice parrying on this guy. So you see how I just timed my swing right when, or my block, right when he swung, and you heard that sound effect. It happens, and you saw him kind of reel back. That was a parry. And then that allowed us to crush him. Now, he's easier to kill because and he drops a bone fragment. So that's another way you can get bone fragment, is to fight skeletons. They're not very common, okay, in the meadows in the daytime, but we found one, and they're great for having a club. They hate the club. They take they don't like the blunt damage, so it's like their kryptonite. And then you combine that with a shield to parry their attack, and they're actually not that hard. Okay. Scanning. Scanning. Coming over the ridge. Oh, I found a deer. It's going to run away. There's no way I was going to be sneaky enough to... I got way too close to it. I didn't mean to, but that's okay. And if you try to chase the deer, you're going to be in a bad way because it'll just keep running away from you. And the other thing I found with doing that is that it tends to be a bad idea, just in the sense that it's really hard to get a shot on them when they're running away because they randomly, like, skitter from left to right. So predicting where they're going to be moving is not easy. So I always just try to shoot them unaware if possible. Alright. Now, where are we now? We're getting close to a boar locale. So let's see if there's any pigs just wandering around, snouting around looking for truffles. There's a good raspberry point. Mm-hmm. All right. And again, we're just uncovering the fog of war. Or the map. There's a deer right there. It's going to see us. It would be very fortunate if this deer did not see us. We're so close to it. We got it. Well, we were very lucky. Sometimes when you're running around exploring like I am and you come across a deer like that, they usually will hear you even if you try to, like, immediately stop and sneak. They'll smell you or just detect you. But in that case, we got lucky. Now, that was a bird. You can definitely kill birds, and that's a way to get feathers. There's necks all along this coast, of course. But shooting birds is quite challenging. They fly away. They're very small. All right, let's see. There's a little place to get some skeletal remains, which is good. Little island down here. And there's what we were looking for. It's a pig. Let's get it. Oh, it's two. Come on, guys. Perfect. Alright, let's get it. And that's enough of that. And it's good timing because you can see it's getting dark. We've also lost our rested buff. So, let's go ahead and... oh, there's some amber there, which is like a decoration for the grave. And let me just open up my map and ping my house so I can get my orientation and just run back. Amber is a valuable. Store all of your valuables. They won't do anything at the beginning of the game, but you will use them later. And it's nice to have gold coins and valuables for later. Right now, of course, they just are nice things for your chest space, but they will have a use. Just like everything does eventually have a use. All right, we're going to head back. To our home. And if it gets dark for you, you can just pull out your torch so you can look around a little bit better. This will also, you know, deter any kind of greylings. But if you're trying to hunt boar, do not have this out because they will not come back and fight you. Usually they will get scared of this, and that's just not what you want. So I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to run because we're almost home. We just have to cross this last stretch. And once we get over here to our workbench, okay, we can open this up and we can take out all of these things. And how much wood do I have? 10. That's not enough. Let me get some more. That should be good. And then we can just select our hammer. And we can build a tanning rack once we get enough flint, which we definitely have. And we can now build a tanning rack. Remember, you just need to build this close enough to your bench. And I'm just going to build this over here. And now we have a tanning rack, which means that our workbench is up to level 3. And when we go to the workbench, with our workbench to level 3, okay, we can now upgrade our items to level 3 if we want. And we're rocking and rolling with fully upgrading the workbench to this point. We've got 4 beehives, and we have built ourselves a helmet. And now we have some extra deer hide where we could make a cape, or we could make some more leather armor. And we're doing great. So everyone, I think this is a good place to end this tutorial episode, and actually perhaps end the tutorial itself, unless you'd like me to see me work up all the way to fighting the first boss. I think at this point you've got a great foundation. You're starting to build up, and you see what you need to start going and hunting for and grinding for, so that you can get enough to go onto the map and right down here and explore and figure out what it's going to take to defeat the boss. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Take care.